Comes from Southern Illinois, graduated second in his high school class. Second from the bottom, that is. He concluded that college wasn't part of his future, but he convinced his dad to give him a loan, and they'd split the business. He'd start 50-50. He wanted to make food, a restaurant kind of business, and deliver it to people. So he went out to buy one of those hamburger grills and those rollers that make the hot dogs and the hood that takes out the smoke. Way more money than he had. The only thing he could do with the money he had was make sandwiches. So he set up some tables in a garage and made sandwiches and delivered the sandwiches to people at work. And now Jimmy John's has 1,500 restaurants and employs 60,000 people. That's kind of how America works. You see, it's individuals like those, well, Melanie McNamara, she was the woman in High Point, North Carolina, and Jimmy John. It's people like that who take risk, who work hard, who start businesses, who hire other people. These individuals in this country, we celebrate them. We acknowledge their achievement. We love their success. We don't attack success in America, and we will never apologize for success abroad. But as Paul said, the president has a very different view. He fundamentally believes that government is the source of our great strength and economic vitality. Look, we value our government. We value the people who work in government, from the bus drivers to the police and teachers and people who even work in bureaucracies. They're essential to keep our country going. Don't forget, we pay for them as well, but we do value them. But we also recognize that what makes America unique is not just that we have a government with government workers and bureaucrats, but we have free people, and the job of government is to protect the freedoms of the people so they can build a brighter life for themselves and for their communities. When the founders wrote that Declaration of Independence and said that the Creator gave us our rights, they were both inspired and brilliant in my view, and those rights included life and liberty and the pursuit of happiness. In this nation, people are free to pursue happiness as they choose. And so for hundreds of years, they've come here with dreams, hopes of building a better future for themselves and for their children. And some succeed brilliantly, like Jimmy John and Melanie McNamara. And others succeed in other ways. People succeed by working hard and getting a promotion at work and being able to save money for their kids' education. People succeed by working hard and getting on the honor roll as a kid. And let me tell you, if your child gets on the honor roll, works hard, studies, does well on the test, makes the honor roll, I know that to get to school, he or she had to get on a school bus. But when they make the honor roll, congratulate them. Don't say thanks to the bus driver. They're the ones that accomplished the achievement. This is a nation that celebrates individual initiative, people seeking greatness, people who have dreams. Look around the world. It's here where the dreamers come. Not a lot of dreamers in North Korea, are they? The dreams they have there are just getting out. Not a lot of dreamers in Cuba. They wish they could come here with relatives in this country. This is the land that promotes dreams and the vision of individuals, and it is the freedom of individuals we will protect and reignite America's economy. I'm convinced that you're going to see, by virtue of our administration, this economy come roaring back. Great jobs are coming back. There are 5 things. There are 5 things we're going to do. There are 5 things we're going to do that are really going to get this economy going. And I think you know what they are. Number 1, we're going to take advantage of our energy, our oil, our coal, our gas, nuclear, renewables. Number 1, take advantage of energy. We're going to do what the president said he'd do, which is we're going to get America, North America, independent for energy. Within the next 10 years, America is going to be energy independent. Number 1. Number 2, we need to make sure that our workers have the skills they need to succeed and that our kids are given the skills that will allow them to succeed. It is inexcusable in the nation that invented public education to have our kids performing in the bottom quartile. The president just can't do what he knows he should do because his largest campaign contributor is the teachers' unions. If we are president and vice president, we will put the teachers and the kids first and the union behind. There's a third thing. Number 3, we're going to take advantage of trade and make trade work for America. We're productive. We can compete with anyone in the world successfully. I want to open up new markets, particularly in places like Latin America where there's a growing middle class. It's a huge opportunity for us. We speak the language. We're in the same time zone. So we have opportunity there. But at the same time, I want to make sure that people in trade who cheat recognize there will be consequences. We won't stand for it. China has cheated. I'm going to put an end to it. Number 4. So number 1, energy. Number 2, the skills we need to succeed. Number 3, trade. And number 4, this is an important one as well. You're not going to have entrepreneurs risk all their savings and convince their family to invest in their business, nor are you going to have big multinational companies decide to build factories in Ohio or anywhere else in America if they think we're headed to Greece. And if we keep spending massively more than we take in, that is where we're headed. And therefore, if we're president and vice president, we will do everything in our power and accomplish this goal. We will cut federal spending, we will cap federal spending, and we'll finally get us on track to have a balanced budget. And there's one more. And there's one more. And that is, number 5, champion small business. Help small business. Help entrepreneurs. Help innovators. Look, big businesses are able to accommodate, in some cases, all the regulations that get thrown on them because they have all the lawyers and the scale. They can even sometimes handle the big tax rate, highest taxes in the world on corporations here, because they have businesses all over the world. Big companies like GE, as you saw, paid no tax a year or 2 ago. That's because of all the operations they have around the world. But if you're in a small business, if you're in a dry cleaning operation, or you're starting a taxi business, or you got a small software company, let me tell you, those regulations and those taxes are crushing to small business. The president wants to raise the tax on small business from 35% to 40%. That's the income tax. And by the time you pay the state tax, which is just a little under 6%, and then you pay sales tax and gasoline tax and real estate tax, well, you find out that the government is taking well more than half of what you make. And so people decide, well, I'm not going to begin my business. That's why we're at a 30-year low in this country for new business startups. I want to make sure that we help entrepreneurs and innovators. I want to speak to the women of America who have dreams, who begin businesses in their homes, who begin businesses out in the marketplace, who are working in various enterprises and companies. I want you to be successful. Our campaign is about making it easier for entrepreneurs, women and men, to start businesses, to grow businesses. We will champion small business because we know that's where our jobs come from. We know that if we get this economy going with energy that's abundant, by getting the skills people need, by opening up new trade and cracking down on cheaters, by finally getting us to a balanced budget and being a real champion of small business, America is going to surprise the world. We're going to stand out as a shining city on the hill, in part because of our extraordinary economy. This is a choice. This is a choice. Paul began by saying this is a vote about the soul of America. What kind of an America are we going to have? We have laid out an America that's based upon the skill, the capacity, the dream of each individual, and a government that protects their rights and encourages them to be able to realize those dreams. That's our vision. The president's vision is one of a larger and larger government taking more and more and trying to provide more and more to you. It takes us on a road to Europe, or worse, California. Just kidding about that. Sort of. Look, I don't want to become Europe. I want America to remain America, the hope of the earth, the shining city on a hill. We know how to do that, and we're going to bring it back. We know how critical it is. Look, this is important not just for us, for our generation. It's critical for our kids. We can't pass on trillions of dollars of debt to the coming generation for things we paid for ourselves. We can't do it. I know the president's going to go to that convention. He's going to have all sorts of marvelous things to say. I mean, I can almost read his speech now. It'll be filled with promises and tell people how wonderful things are. Of course, they'll have to contrast that with what they know they're experiencing. But as he lays out all these wonderful things he's going to do, people are going to stop and say, but how are you going to do something different than last time? They've experienced the last 4 years. They know if they reelect him, they'll get 4 more years of the same. It is not his words that people have to listen to. It is his action and his record. And if they look at that, they'll take him out of the office and put people into the office who will actually get America going again. And so Paul and I, we've made our commitment to you. With every source of our energy and passion in becoming president and vice president, we will endeavor to make America stronger. We'll endeavor to protect our freedoms and our rights, to encourage the dreams of individuals. We'll do our very best with all of our energy to assure that America is stronger, stronger in our homes, stronger in our values, stronger in our economy, stronger in our military. A military from America must be so strong, no one would ever think of testing it. I love this country. I love what it stands for. We are unique in the history of the earth because of our founding documents and our commitment to freedom. We're going to bring America back by reasserting and reaffirming and restoring those principles. We're not going to become Europe. We're going to stay America. We're going to remain the shining city on a hill. And Ohio is going to help us win the White House. Thank you so much. Thank you.